Okay, so welcome back, and today we're going to talk about reflections, which is the last of the transformations that we're going to talk about. So the reflection, remember, just like with exponentials, the reflections are the same. It depends on whether you're multiplying on the inside of the function x by -1, or if you're multiplying outside the function by -1. Okay, so here's the difference. Again, it's a matter of reflecting across the y-axis or reflecting across the x-axis. If you take the function, right, and you multiply by a negative number, right, or -1, the negative of this is the negative of the y values. So what does that do? You're taking the negative of the y values. So you're making all of the y values that are positive, all the y coordinates that are positive, and you're making them negative. And all the y coordinates on the graph that are negative, you're making them positive. So in effect, you're reflecting across the x-axis. So in this case here, what you would end up having is something that looks like this. So you would have something that looks like this. Okay. So this would be log base b of x, and this would be log or negative log base b of x. Okay, so it's a reflection across the x-axis. Okay, now what if you multiply the inside by a negative number? So let's say -1, right? Well, then now what's happening? You're taking all of the x coordinates, right? All of the points on this graph, you're taking all the x coordinates here, and you're making the positive ones negative and the negative ones positive. Well, in this case here, since all of the x coordinates are positive, what's going on? They're all going to negative. So you're flipping it across the y-axis into the negative x direction. So what does this one look like? Well, this one would look like this. Oops. Like that. So again, this would be your log base b of x. And that would be your log base b of -x. So the reflections are just as the same that we talked about when it came to exponentials. Okay. Now, also keep in mind that in both my graphs, I'm assuming that b is greater than 1. Okay. So that it's increasing, right? But it would work the same way if it was decreasing. Okay. So the point is showing you that what type of reflection is going on here. So just keep that in mind. Now, also keep in mind that what happens here with the range, the domain, and the asymptote, right? Always keep that in mind. So what's going on? What's flipping? Where are the points going, right? The three important points that we plot, right? So if I plot here, so I've got these points here. Okay, so this point is going down to here. This point doesn't move, and this point, right, this point is going up to here. Okay? And likewise over here. If I have these 3 points, oops. Got this wrong. Right there. Yeah, that's right. Right about there. Okay. So if we look at these points here, this is flipping over to here, right? So this is going over to here. This one's flipping over to here, and this one is flipping over to there. So again, what's happening? It's a reflection. Okay? So you got to make sure you understand where those points flipping to, right? To graph it. Also, look at the domain, right? So here, what's the domain? The domain is not changing here. The domain is still all positive real numbers. The range, is the range changing? No. The range is still all real numbers. Okay? Now here though, things do change a little bit. Right? So not only are the points moving, reflected across the y-axis, but look at the domain. The domain is no longer all positive real numbers. It's now all negative real numbers. And the range is the same. Right? So the domain changes on this one. Okay? Vertical asymptotes don't change. Okay, that's it. We'll do an example next time. Have a great day.